This is Charlie Miller, and you're listening to the Random Variety Show podcast, episode number
3. Hey everybody, welcome to the Random Variety Show podcast. Remember, there's no need to RSVP for the RVSP. Alright, hey, thank you for downloading and listening to the RSVP, the Random Variety Show podcast. I am the host and creator, Charlie Miller. And remember, I wouldn't be here doing this if it wasn't for you guys listening out there. We got an interesting show this week. I wasn't able to get Groucho to get an interview this week. I think it just, timing of everything just didn't work out. I've been busy. Obviously, he must be busy floating around the internet. And I've been working on Awake and Sing for the last 2 weeks. It's been one hell of a ride, I'll tell you that. So today is March 1st that I'm recording this. So for the last 2 weeks, which puts us back to, about the 16th of February, we have finished up the set. As far as the decor and painting, we have finalized all the blocking, making sure everybody's moving around the stage correctly. We have hung and focused the lights. We've adjusted the light levels. We've gone through everything and put all the little finishing touches on it. All the, I guess the best way to say would be the frosting on the cake. Coupled with the fact of adding in all the extra stuff, which means stage manager, more props, all the costume pieces, and we have thrown a lot at the cast. I mean, a ton of stuff. Like I said, props, costumes, all of it. These 9 men and women have impressed me so much. They have taken all the curveballs thrown to them, all the directions thrown to them, taken them in, digested them, and turned it right around and presented it on stage. It has been an absolute thrill to watch these people, in the last 2 weeks only, go from walking around with scripts in hand to becoming the actual characters they're portraying. It is a phenomenal experience. And within that phenomenal experience, tonight is our first invitational dress rehearsal. So what that means specifically is a local correctional facility for boys between the ages of, I believe, 12 and 17, could be 13, 14, up to 18, but right in that realm of juvenile delinquents who, within their own realm, have worked hard and have earned the reward to come see a live theatrical production. And the particular theater, Powpack, has been working with this group of individuals, or the facility, I should say, for, goosh. Goosh? Wow, oh gosh is what I meant to say. For a good 5+ years, maybe even more. So tonight, at the invitational dress, we have these troubled youths. And usually they are the most appreciative audience because they don't get out much, and this is a reward for them. So I'm very excited to have them be the first live audience for this group. Now, obviously, with Clifford Odets and Awake and Sing, it is a heavy piece. It's a drama. And so to help these youths, these boys, get an idea of the 1930s, I'm going to introduce a little bit before the show, let the show do its thing, and then one of the things the theater does is offer a talk back to with these boys and the cast, and of course the director as well. And that's what I'm looking forward to, because they follow the show so well, usually, that their questions are very in-depth, and I'm very excited. So what have my last 2 weeks endured? Well, usually I've been getting to the theater anywhere between 10 a.m. and about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then staying till about midnight, 2 o'clock sometimes. On a couple nights, it's actually closer to 3. In fact, last night, after the final rehearsal, just putting all the final touches on everything, making sure everything was all lined up and ready to go, I didn't get out till about 3 o'clock. So this week has been, or these last 2 weeks have been really grueling on me. So in trying to put together this episode of the podcast, again, without Groucho being able to provide an interview, I had to stop and think about what am I going to share with my listeners? What can I give you guys this week? Well, one of the things that I like a lot about Awake and Sing or rather, this production of Awake and Sing, is the music that the sound designer Lou and myself have put together and utilized for the show, both pre-show before it starts, intermission, and then at the end of the show. And since it's in the 1930s, a lot of the songs are in public domain. So I'm going to share some of those with you today. Now, the first one I'm going to share with you is by Al Jolson. It's from 1932. It's called The Cantor. Now, the unique thing about this song in relation to me and how I came about it was I've always been drawn to music from this era, from the early part of 1900s, the 1910s, 20s, 30s, 40s. It's always pulled to me. It's always spoken to me. So when I was in high school, freshman or sophomore year, I found a cassette tape. This is right before CDs became popular, of Al Jolson doing a lot of songs from basically the 20s and early 30s. And one of the songs on it was The Cantor. Now, I'm not Jewish. I don't speak Hebrew. I have Jewish friends. I've been invited over to people's homes to celebrate Hanukkah and Passover and the Seder and all that. So I've been exposed to it, but I'm not Jewish and I don't speak Hebrew. This song is completely sung in Hebrew. At least that's what I believe. So I don't understand the story. I don't understand the words. But the beautiful thing about it is how he sells this song. It is so powerful, so amazing. And without any further ado, this is Al Jolson from 1932 with The Cantor.
Sie gekimmer a Chasen in a kleine Städtele zu davnen auf Schabbat haben gekimmen zu Herren die schönste Balabaten in Städtel. Einer a Schneider, der zweite a Schuster, und die dritte a Balagula. Die schönste Balabaten in Städtel. Macht der Schneider hat der gedaven, als wichtig, mit den Nädel hat sie, mit den Biegeleisen nach vorne, hat der gedaven. Hat der gedaven. Macht der Schuster hat der gedaven, als wichtig, mit der Pedestre mit der Hammerlack-Klappere, hat der gedaven. Ay, 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 ay. Pater, no. Pater, gedaven. Mach de Baragula, hat der Gitarre, hat wichtig, mit der letzte Satie, mit dem Weicher Schneiderein, hat der Gitarre.
has always spoken to me ever since high school. And to continue that story, the cassette tape I bought in some point in time broke. The CD version of that I purchased a few years after that got lost in the shuffle of life, and so the version you heard I actually found online through the Internet Archive, and it's just another reason I'm very grateful for the Internet. One of the reasons I selected that song is it just speaks to me of the time period. The Berger family, which is what Awaken Sing revolves around, is a Jewish family. So in putting together all the sounds and songs for the show, that one song really spoke to me. Unfortunately, being that I only have 30 minutes before the show, about 10 minutes between the two acts at intermission, and only about 4 minutes in the end show before people leave the theater to play the music. Unfortunately, the Cantor didn't make it into the final cut. I did want to mention that in my working with the sound designer Lou, he has come up with some wonderful sound effects for this show. Well, I don't want to give away the show, but there are obviously sound effects, phone rings, doorbells. There's a reference to a mail airplane, a mail carrier plane that travels across the Bronx. So we've got a little plane sound flying by. Lou has done an amazing job, and I really hope he understands my appreciation for him, because without him, I wouldn't have been able to do the sound design for the show. Well, I would have been able to do it, but it wouldn't have been as smooth, wouldn't have been as easy without him. So, Lou, if you're out there listening, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And with that, let's jump into the next song. This is from 1924, recorded by the artist Billy Murray. Now, Billy Murray was a top recording artist from, well, basically since they started recording in the early 1900s, through till the recording devices changed in the 30s and 40s. And it just, more and more people were recording. His dynamic tenor voice was overpowering to the new microphones and recording devices. But back in the day, when you were recording on a wax cylinder or something similar, you had to use your voice. And this guy had one of the most powerful voices. In fact, in my opinion, he's right up there as compared to Al Jolson as one of the greatest entertainers of the time period. Now, this song is called Charley, My Boy. And for me, it actually holds a very sentimental value. Not just because my name is Charley, but because growing up, this is a song my father used to sing to me, or at least parts of the song to me, as I was a little boy growing up. So I was very happy to be able to find a recording of it in public domain, and I was very excited to be able to include it in the pre-show. So, without any further ado, Billy Murray from 1924 with Charley, My Boy.
Charley is an ordinary fellow to most everyone but Flo, his Flo. She's convinced that Charley is a very extraordinary beau, some beau. And every evening in the dim light, she has a way of putting him right. Charley, my boy, oh, Charley, my boy, you thrill me, you kill me with shivers of joy. You've got the kind of sort of bit of a way that makes me, take me, tell me, what shall I say? And when we dance, I read in your glance whole pages and ages of love and romance. They tell me Romeo was some lover too, but boy, he should have taken lessons from you. You seem to start where others get through. Oh, Charley, my boy. Charlie's dad and mother and his sister and his brother call him Pet, some pet. While his girl's relations say if he would stay away, we'd have some rest. some rest. Her father's cleaning up his rifle, but she says, dearie, that's a trifle. Charlie, my boy, oh, Charlie, my boy, you thrill me, you chill me with shivers of joy. You've got that kind of sort of bit of a way that makes me, takes me, tell me, what shall I say? And when we dance, I read in your glance sweet notions and notions of love and romance. My mother told me that I shouldn't be kissed, but then your coaxing ways are hard to resist. My lips refuse, but your eyes insist. Oh, Charlie, my boy. And when we dance, I read in your glance whole pages and ages of love and romance. They tell me Romeo was some lover too, but boy, he should have taken lessons from you. You seem to start where others get through. Oh, Charlie, my boy.
Yes, the memories that brings back. I was elated when I found it on the Internet Archive, and I'm so glad because the only version I had ever heard before was a 1940s recording from the Andrews Sisters, and it's a fun number, and they capture it in the three-part harmony wonderfully. But to hear one of the original versions, in this case Billy Murray's version, is phenomenal. Other recording artists have been Eddie Cantor, and it was a popular song in vaudeville around the time. And with that, we have... Oh, hey! There's our listener feedback sound. Yes, it's that part of the show where I say thank you for listening. Yeah, we've actually had a few, not too many, feedback this week. I was told by a listener by the name of Chris DeArmond that he's enjoying it very much. I got a Facebook post from a Jared Weintraub who's enjoying the show and really digging on the Groucho part of it. I really would like to have Jared on the show, so hopefully if you're listening out there, get in touch with me and we'll get you on the show. Let's see, who else have we had? We've had Diane and Denise get back to me. And they're loving it. We've also had Rebecca telling me that she's enjoying the show. Let's see, we have Mark Hershon with the Succotash podcast commenting on our tweets out there. We also have Matt Jarbo, who runs the KZOM Radio website. He's been retweeting our tweets. Thank you so much, Matt. And if you guys like zombies or into that folklore of zombies, give KZOM, KZOM, a listen. Just Google it out there. You'll find it. It's by Matt Jarbo, a really good friend of mine. And I appreciate all the retweets, Matt. Thank you so much. And I've noticed we've also gotten a lot new Twitter followers out there. So thanks for following the Random Variety Show podcast. Now, we are looking for guests to interview with Groucho. To become a guest, you don't have to be in San Diego. You don't have to be local. We do it right over Skype and through the internet, the magic of the internet. And the email address for us is therandomvarietyshow@gmail.com. To follow us on Twitter, it's _RVS_podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching out the Random Variety Show podcast and post on our page there. You can actually circle us on Google+. And, of course, we have the Blogspot website, and, of course, you can always find us on iTunes. So, give us some listener feedback. If you'd like to be a guest, give me a tweet, send me an email, and we'll line it up to get you out there. If you're a musician and you'd like to share your music with the world for pod-safe music and royalty-free music, also get in touch with me. Would love to have you as a guest on the show and would love to be able to play your music. And with that, I'd also like to say thanks for downloading. I've been keeping an eye on our feed burner, and I've noticed that over the last month and a half, we've been getting a lot more downloads. And I want to say thank you all for downloading and listening. I really appreciate it. Send some listener feedback. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you what you don't like, what you like, if there's room for improvement, if anything. I'm here to entertain myself and you guys. And with that, I'm going to go into our next song here. Now, this next song, I first heard it when I did the musical called Animal Crackers. Back in high school. Now, Animal Crackers is a Marx Brothers, was originally a Broadway play, and then it was made into a movie in 1930. It was their second movie. It was their third Broadway show, but second movie. And in the movie, it's not included, but the Broadway show includes this song. It's called Oh, By Jingo. And the audience out there may have heard it from the old I Love Lucy show. I don't remember the title of the episode, but Fred has an old vaudeville partner come visit him. And the premise of the story is he's out of work, but he's trying to impress his grandson. So he elicits the help of the Mertz and the Ricardos to impress his little 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old grandchild. And the song is Oh, By Jingo. And in the I Love Lucy episode, Fred and his vaudeville friend, I don't remember the actor's name, wonderful character actor, I see his face. They sit around their little dining table and they sing Oh, By Jingo. Well, this version is by the Rhythm Aces, recorded in 1935. Now, the Rhythm Aces were a British group of 2 women and 1 man. And it's one of my favorite songs. It's just got an upbeat tempo. It's a silly little song, and I hope you like it. Here we go with Oh, By Jingo by the Rhythm Aces.
In the land of San Domingo lives a girl called Oh, By Jingo. On the fields and from the marshes came the old and young by gushes. They all spoke in a different lingo, and they all loved Oh, By Jingo. And every night they sang in the pale moonlight. Oh, By Jingo, oh, by gosh, by gee. Oh, By Jingo, you're the one for me. We will build for you a hut. You will be our favorite nut. We'll have a lovely little oh, by gollies, and we'll put them in the follies. By Jingo says, by gosh, by gee. By Jiminy, please don't bother me. So they all went away singing, oh, by Joe, by gosh, by heck, by Jiminy G. By Jingo, you're the one for me. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-do. Oh, By Jingo says, by gosh, gee. Oh, By Jingo, you're the only one for me. We'll build for you a hut. You'll be our favorite nut. We'll have a lovely little oh, by gollies, and we'll put them in the follies. Oh, By Jingo says, by gosh, gee. By Jiminy, please don't bother me. So they all went away singing away in the way, in the way, in the way, in the way. By Jingo, you're the one. By Jingo, son of a gun. By Jingo, you're the one for me. Pretty baby. By Jingo, you're the one for me. What do you know?
So as you can tell, it's just a funny little song. It's a silly little song. Lots of people have recorded it. I personally have 7 different recordings of that particular song. One of them by Spike Jones, which is not in the public domain, is just phenomenal. Spike Jones, the band leader from the 30s and 40s, who was most known for In de Fleur's Face, which was used in a Walt Disney Donald Duck cartoon. It was... his rendition of it is just phenomenal. So if you can find it out there, just pay the $1.99 or the 99 cents and do yourself a favor to listen to it. But I know there was a recording in which Bing Crosby participated in. Margaret Young actually was the one who originated it in 1920. So it goes back quite a ways. Anyway, enough said. It's one of my favorites. Now, before we end here, I've got one more song I'm going to share with you. Oh, by the way, Oh, By Jingo is in the pre-show music. Another one that's in the pre-show music is something called The Peanut Vendor. Now, The Peanut Vendor, when I first heard this song, it emulated all the sounds of the 30s. To me, it just said, this is the 30s. And I'm going to share it with you. It's called The Peanut Vendor. It's by Sam Browne and the Three Ginx. So they don't have I tried searching out them, and they don't have a lot. Most of their stuff was done in the late 20s and early 30s, from what I could find. But this is called The Peanut Vendor, and as I said, I feel that it emulates the sound of the 30s.
If you haven't got bananas, don't be blue. Peanuts in a little bag are calling you. Don't waste them, no tummy ache. You'll taste them when you awake. For at the very break of day, the peanut vendor's on his way. City, town, and country lane, you'll hear him sing his plaintive little strain, and as he goes by to you he'll say, Big Jumbo, Big Double One, come by those peanuts roasted today. Come by those freshly roasted today. If you're looking for a moral to this song, 50 million little monkeys can't be wrong.
So that was Sam Browne and the Three Ginx with The Peanut Vendor, which, as I said, the sound of it just speaks to me and says the 30s. It's just one of those songs, and I've been humming it for the last 2 months, and I'm so grateful that I can share it with you. Well, tomorrow is March 2nd, and that's when Awake and Sing by Clifford Odets opens at Powpack in Poway, California. For more information and tickets, www.powpac.org. And the telephone number's there for reservations. More information about the show and the cast and some publicity pictures are there. So even if you're not in Southern California, give it a look and see what you find. I'm sure you'll like what's there. So Awake and Sing by Clifford Odets, directed by me, Charley Miller, at Powpack, Poway's Community Theater, celebrating its 30th season. It's amazing that this community theater has been around for 30 years. The show runs from March 2nd to March 25th on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Fridays and Saturdays we're at 8 o'clock, and Sundays we're at 2. Contact the box office through the website for more information and reservations. And I can't say enough how much this has been a phenomenal experience for me. And I'm glad that I've been able to share it with you guys, my audience. And again, thanks for downloading and listening. Well, I think that's about it for this show. There's our ending music. I know it's time to close out. So thanks again for listening to the Random Variety Show podcast with me, Charlie Miller, the host and creator. This is Charlie Miller saying, thanks again, folks. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Mr. Marx appears courtesy of the chaotic prattle and vibrations of Mr. Miller's larynx and the marvelous wizardry of the internet. Except, I couldn't get in touch with the disembodied voice of Groucho. Maybe next time.